Hey there, it's Daniel here, and I just put together this 6 or 7 minute video just to discuss age-related loss of muscle known as sarcopenia. So from your 40s onwards, basically what happens is that we start to not build muscle as well as we used to. And if we don't do too much about it, it can lead to many health implications down the line, as I'm going to explain now. So yeah, if this interests you, just hold on and watch along. So this sarcopenia can begin as early as your 40s. So I'm 46. I may not look it, but yeah, I could be well and truly in the early stages of sort of sarcopenia. And if, again, we don't do anything about it, we could suffer a loss of up to 50% of muscle in our 80s, which can lead to lots of health implications. It can lead to a loss of quality of day-to-day life where you can't do the things that you used to do. You struggle to do, like climb stairs and walk for long distances and so on and so on. You may find it, you get fatigued quite easily, again, contributing to your loss of day-to-day life. You may find your balance is deteriorating, your increased risk of falls, which can lead to things like fractures, etc. Okay, so what causes this sarcopenia? What actually causes it? Well, there's not one thing. Obviously, as we get older, our physiology and our hormones change, and that has been suggested to contribute towards muscles not building as well as they used to. You've got disease states such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, which can affect us as we get older, which can also contribute towards this condition of sarcopenia. You've also got the natural decline in physical activity as we get older. So traditionally, like if you think of your parents and your grandparents, traditionally they tend to do less and less as they get older. Not our members here at MeTime, they stay super fit. And then we have a decline in optimal nutrition, and I put in brackets here to support muscle growth, okay? Because many of our members here are healthy, eat vegetables and fruits, and don't have too much processed foods and all that. Don't spend their life down McDonald's, but they may not have enough protein in their diet. So what is the gold standard intervention according to research? Well, firstly, we've got to exercise and increase our day-to-day activity. So like when it comes to exercise, we specifically talk about getting stronger, lifting weights, to challenge our muscles to become stronger and not suffer so much with sarcopenia. We've got to improve our nutrition, more specifically around adequate protein intake to support the muscle growth, because protein essentially are the building blocks of your muscle. And we're going to look into this in a moment. So with that in mind, MeTime have their own evidence-based advice surrounding sarcopenia and how we can go about preventing it or even reducing it. So we've got definitely strength exercise workouts, minimum of 2 times a week, if we can 3 or 4. This will help stimulate muscle growth, okay? So the more times we challenge the muscles, do these, lift the dumbbells and do the stuff in the gym, the muscle, that is like a stimulus for the muscle to grow and get stronger. We need to increase our day-to-day activity to support this. That's why we set out these challenges, like these 10,000 steps challenges and Jamie's Wordle challenges. These are all just to keep you active, to help you stay strong and fit as we get older. Eating the right amount of calories is important too. So not starving ourselves or really cutting down on the calories. The lower our calorie intake is, the more likely we are to suffer sarcopenia and lose muscle. Or even if it's not sarcopenia, it's just to lose muscle anyway. But this must center around the right amount of protein, which we're going to go into now. So firstly, we'll look at what is protein. So protein-rich foods are dairy, which is, I've put in brackets here, that whey protein powder. So you may think of it like, that bodybuilding powder you see in Holland and Barrett and stuff. It's not. It's basically a dairy that's in a powder form that has a really good rich protein source and can help build muscle. And it's really easy because you can stick it into like smoothies. You can make things out of it, even like whey protein cookies you can buy and things like that. So it's really a good source of and multi-use source of protein. Then we've got obviously your meat, your poultry, your chicken, your lamb, and all that sort of stuff. You've got fish, you've got eggs, and if you don't tend to eat fish, eggs, or meat, or not too much of it, you can sort of center around beans, legumes, quinoa, lentils, that type of things, which is a carbohydrate but does have high sources of protein in it too. So, how much protein should we be eating? What is the right amount? Well, we can go into like grams per kilogram, body weight, and all that stuff, but I wanted to keep it really simple. So just think every meal you have, 3 meals a day, this is focused on, or 4, you want to have a rich protein of serving. So that's the first thing. So where on your meal is, where on your plate is protein? So it wants to be like at least a third of the plate is protein. And then if you're using that as your guide, can you make one of the meals have a little bit more protein than normal? Okay, so could you have like 1.5 chicken breasts instead of 2 chicken breasts? Can you have 2 tins of tuna instead of 1 tin of tuna? Could you have 2 scoops of whey protein instead of 1 scoop of whey protein? 3 eggs instead of 2 eggs? Okay, that sort of thing. This is what we want to start thinking about. So maybe you could do 2 meals with a bit of protein, like a handful of protein, and then maybe 1 meal a day with like 2 handfuls. Something like that should give you enough, okay? And you can also add fish oil supplement and vitamin D2. These have been known, well, these are great supplements anyway for many health benefits, but they've also been known to help build muscle. So how do we know this is actually all working? Well, we've got to assess it. Firstly, you ask yourself, are you stronger and more energized compared to before you started the program? And we hear this all the time from our members, is that they are feeling stronger and more energized and can walk more, etc., which is a great thing to hear. And also, are you doing more in your day-to-day life, running around with the kids or the grandkids or with your friends, and just feeling more buoyant and more energy, lower blood pressure and all that sort of stuff? That's all amazing. But the one thing we can do is we can use our InBody kit downstairs to measure our muscle mass and see if it's going in the right direction. So here's one example we have here from this lady who's 67. She had her InBody, as you can see by the test date, is the 17th of January. It's American, so it's around the wrong way. And we measured her 6 months later. So bearing in mind she's 67, she's a female. So, you know, in that situation, it does become a slightly more difficult to build muscle. But as you can see, what I've done in my weird little squiggly square down the bottom, her skeletal muscle mass was 18.9 and it now is 20. So if she was doing nothing and not even doing the right exercise, potentially that skeletal muscle mass number could be going down, but she's actually building muscle. Not only that, if you look at her body fat mass, you can see that that has gone down as well by 2.5 kilos. Yes, it's over a 6-month period, but it's all heading in the right direction, which meaning that as she's getting older, she's actually improving her body composition, she's improving her health, and she's less likely to suffer all these, you know, loss of quality of life, falls, fractures, etc., etc. Okay, so just a quick summary. I think we've gone over the 6 or 7 minutes. It's actually up to 9 or 10. Firstly, be active. So if you want to have a good quality of life, lots of energy, not sort of grow up feeling more frail and things, but grow old, being active and fit, be active. The next thing is get strong. So challenge yourself in the gym within reason. So if you find you're lifting weights and doing an exercise and you find that actual exercise is okay and you're not really getting tired doing it, then challenge yourself to go up a weight. Make sure you do it with good form and ask us for the advice you need, and make sure you get your protein on your plate and you eat lots of veggies and fruits. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you do have any questions, please let me know, or one of the coaches here, and we'll be